Goa, a jewel in the Indian crown, is sandwiched between the lush green Western Ghats and the azure waters of the Arabian Sea. It has fascinated people from the world over, and at different times, this land has been a spiritual center, famous once as the Konkan Kashi, and at other times as the Rome of the East. Since times immemorial, the people have worshipped the universe as God through folk religion and folk culture nurtured by them. Toiling hard on the land, man worshipped the earth as the mother goddess. The rock art site on the banks of the river Kushavati at Pansaimol Rivona of Sangan Taluka on laterite clearly indicates the love that primitive man had for the animals coexisting with him in the jungle. The rock art has, among others, pictures of deer, bison, zebu and peacock. The rock art of the Mavus from Sattari Taluka has images of zebu and deer, which attest to man's strong affection towards wildlife. In villages like Marcel, during the monsoon, there is an annual joyous tradition of partaking in a variety of games at the Sri Devki Krishna temple, popularly known as the Chikalkado. Setting aside any differences, the participants in the game cheerfully apply wet clay onto each other. Mushrooms found on termite mounds are considered as the children of Bhumka or Mother Earth. On festive occasions, our ancestors danced with colorful tarangas that took the shape of mushrooms when twirled. Though the Kunbi community was compelled to accept Christianity, changing the religion did not always result in changing the culture. To this day, the Kunbi tribals express their intimacy and affection for Mother Nature through traditional folk dances. The monsoons are somehow related to religion and culture of the common people. The Christian San Juan festival is the best example of this. Sant Gyaneshwar, the great humanitarian and religious reformer, through his poetry urged the people to create water bodies and plant forests, while the other popular Sant Tukaram emphasized through his devotional songs that forests, trees, creepers, and the birds that sing melodiously all are our relatives. Temple complexes were once areas full of a variety of trees. These trees in the vicinity of a temple represent the unseen Holy Spirit, locally popular as Naz, Devtsar, Vatari, Brahman. In the village of Mulgaon, the Holy Spirit is called the Toto Devtsar and is believed to reside in the Jambul tree, also known as the abode of the Kotari. Rumad tree, or Ficus glomatera, is symbolically worshipped as Datguru with fresh flowers, so devotees prefer to plant flower-bearing trees like the champak in the vicinity of the temple complex. In Goa, one finds temples with the amla tree, as there exists a tradition of dining along with the temple deity seated under this tree. Religion and culture have helped in protecting trees, creepers, shrubs, birds and animals. In Sattari, with a 78% forest cover, the newly declared Mahade Wildlife Sanctuary is a treasure trove of rich biodiversity, giving refuge to different species of plants, trees, birds and animals. The Kodemundi dance celebrates the benevolence of nature. One can see a beautiful waterfall of Ladketso Azar at Surla and another waterfall known as Vajra Shakla in the Chorla Ghat. Forest, water and soil are the three basic elements essential for the existence of human life, all of which are depicted in the panel of Gaj Lakshmi. The locals of Kudshe worship Gaj Lakshmi as the Kerbai. The monsoon, which is of crucial significance for the survival of all life forms, clothes Mother Earth with a green sari. The rain that nurtures the trees, creepers and shrubs has been worshipped as the mother goddess Gaj Lakshmi in the forests of the Western Ghats. For centuries, our ancestors have protected various environmental and ecological elements. On account of this tradition, different elements of biodiversity have been conserved under the institution of the sacred grove. Ajobachi Rai in Keri is the real glory of Sacred Grove's tradition of Goa and covers an area of 10 hectares. Often, vows and sacrificial offerings are made here. No one dares to cut even a twig of a tree or harm any living being inside this grove. Hindus and Muslims respect the presence of the deity. In Morle, there is a sacred grove known as Godkachi Rai. Once this grove was dominated by the Terminalia bellerica or gotting species of trees. Today, on account of road construction and agriculture, it is confined to just one huge tree with other vegetation. Koparde, near Valpoi town, is better known for Mahamaya Brahmani. The tradition of the Dijwa fair and the festival of Bharo are associated with the goddess. No temple existed earlier, and the deity resided within the densely forested sacred grove. The Peremal spring and sacred pond, which has medicinal plants as well as flowering trees, are gifts of this sacred grove. The huge shidam trees within the grove are the abode of honeybees. Inside the temple, there is a sacred metal pot which symbolically represents Brahmani Mahamaya. Sacred water, which is kept in the pot, is offered as a tirth to all. It is believed that this tirth possesses medicinal properties and helps in curing skin-related ailments and is also considered effective on snakebite. The Dangar community, depending upon the existence of grazing grounds for their cattle, resided either on hilltops or in jungles or in the plateaus. On the occasion of Pandaricha Pawa, following Dasara, the Dangars perform a unique dance of Gajanatre and the women perform a typical Fugdi. Near Valpoi, in the village of Nagwe, the sacred grove has the sculptures of Brahmani, Mahadevi, Gaj Lakshmi, and of a mother goddess with a boat motif. A rare species of trees, locally known as chafra, which gives a sweet sour tasting seasonal fruit, are also found here. A sacred grove, like Nagveji Rai, harbors the keystone species which are essential for the survival of a number of other species. On the way to Nanora Kodal is another beautiful sacred grove. Once it was spread over 6 hectares, but today it has been reduced to less than a quarter hectare. Villagers from Uste, Meloli and Nanora identify it as the Nirankaranchi Rai, Nirankar being the name of the presiding deity. Trees like Sita, Ashok, Satwin, Bipti, Chafra, Bilomad are found in this grove. Here, one finds one of the wonders of nature called Myristica swamp forests, found today in few areas of the country. These are a rare species and are considered to be the most ancient form of vegetation. A unique feature of the trees here is the presence of numerous aerial roots in the shape of the inverted U arching over the mud, resembling a knee when the leg is bent. There is a small but ecologically very rich spring home to several species of algae, lichens, epiphytes, and underwater plants, some yet to be identified. In Satari, the land of the warriors, the men have fought not just for their king, but for nature too. On their death, the widows offered sati, and in their memory, sati stones have been carved and kept in the forest, which in time turned into a sacred grove. The Gaudas, also tribal, perform a folk drama called Zagor, whose performances reveal not just their socio-anthropological heritage, but also their passion for wildlife and ecology. Sarwan, a small village in Bisholin Taluka, is known for the fragrance of the Surangi flowers. Once the village abounded in Surangi trees, but today they have been reduced in number. Ocrocarpus longifolius is the botanical name of this tree. The village deity Santer resided in the densely forested sacred grove in the form of an anthill surrounded by Surangi trees. Today, only one Surangi tree reminds us of the glorious tradition of the village. While traveling from Kasarpar to Sal, one comes across the hamlet Vadawal, which forms part of Latambarsen village. The etymology of Vadawal is related to the banyan tree. Vadawal has Siddhachi Rai, which houses the largest shivling in Goa. Lots of people visit this grove on the occasion of Mahashivratri. There exists a bond between Siddhanath, the presiding deity of the grove, and Kasainath, the deity on top of the hill at Dodamar, Maharashtra. The entire forest was a haven for a wide range of flora and fauna. Birds like the eagle and the Malabar pied hornbill consider this as a safe abode. Close to the grove is a hillock called Mordongor, which was populated by peacocks. A beautiful pond today is on the verge of extinction. Today, trees are cut for fuel and timber, and high power tension wires passing through the grove threaten its existence. A look at the tall and towering trees still standing in this grove, and one can imagine its past grandeur and glory. Sculptures lying underneath the tree tell us of the rich cultural and historical traditions associated with this grove. Sangam Taluka has the largest forest area in Goa. The Velite community here, in honor of their folk deity Pike, was instrumental in protecting the forest and wildlife. The Dudhsagar waterfalls, worshipped as a representation of God water. The forest and waterfalls are closely related to each other, and hence one can see the waterfall like Baman Vazar continuously flowing. This whole area is today legally protected under the Wildlife Protection Act 1972, but our ancestors have accorded full protection to this forest under the title of Devapana. Malkajan is the chief deity of the village community, and all the trees in the vicinity of the Malkajan temple complex of Gaundongri are considered as sacred and are protected. Vagrodev, who is worshipped in the temple complex, is a symbolic worship of the striped tiger. There is one more sacred area called Sunya Dupe, where the sculpture of a dog is worshipped. The unseen power existing in nature is worshipped as Nas, and the Welips have a strong belief that Nas usually resides on very old and tall trees. Kankorn is also famous for the tradition of the sacred grove. Koingini village of Kankorn has the famous Sri Sansan Gorkan Pratagal Jivotam Mutt. In this complex, there is a banyan tree spread over a large area which is the oldest tree in all of Kankorn. Many sages and saints received enlightenment meditating under the cool shade of this banyan tree, and hence it is considered as holy and receives protection. Today, the very existence of forests is being threatened. They are destroyed to give rise to townships, while railways, roads, and highways have also taken their toll, and yet others have disappeared due to mining and industrial operations. In this era of destruction and environmental degradation, the institution of the sacred groves shows a ray of hope. They are storehouses of the Ayurvedic, tribal, and folk medicines, and also serve as a preserve of genotypes which may be useful in biotechnology programs. The sacred groves provide a habitat for a wide range of wildlife. A large number of animals, such as amphibians, reptiles, birds, butterflies, and insects, find shelter in the sacred grove. There are many tree species which play a key role in the maintenance and enrichment of biodiversity. The sacred groves might have originated around the hunting, food gathering stage, much before humans started settled agriculture, when their thirst was quenched by the waters of springs and streams, and hunger was fulfilled by roots, shoots, fruits, and nuts. The cultural heritage of sacred groves has survived to generations, but the religious beliefs and rituals central to sacred groves preservation are now fast eroding, and therefore the groves cannot be protected indefinitely on religious beliefs alone. There is an urgent need to convert the traditional belief of the local people into an effective conservational strategy, highlighting the scientific basis and conservational values behind the beliefs, especially as the world today reels under the scourge of global warming. The environmental conditions in major cities like Panaji today is deteriorating to a great extent. Increasing vehicular pollution and levels of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and other pollutants have resulted in various problems. Cases of respiratory disease are also increasing at a rapid pace. In these times, the sacred groves are a hope for the future. Our ancestors, who were not educated much in the formal manner, were certainly aware about the importance of the forests and guarded them in the name of sacred groves. Today, there is need to revive the institution of the sacred groves with a scientific temperament.